All right, welcome to the Sweet Talk. Today is Thursday, April 22nd, Earth Day. And I am your host, Kim Matina. I am a Google certified trainer and educator, as well as a gold product expert and a technology teacher in New Jersey. And today I am so happy to have on my show Miss Lisa Thumann. She's a fellow educator from New Jersey as well. She comes to us from Tinton Falls. She is a technology integration professional She's in technology integration since 2002 and she works at Millburn High School in Millburn, New Jersey. And she's also the US Director for Apps Events and a Google PD partner. She is also, I have to say, a Google Innovator, a trainer, and a Google certified coach as well. And she presents globally. So I am so honored to have you on. Thank you, Lisa, for being on.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
This is awesome. Like I said, I followed you back in the day. And this is such a great platform for you to share your expertise and for me to learn and you to, get out there and connect with the Sweet Talk audience. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I will, but I have a question first. Is this really show number 163? Wow, I remember when you started your show. I should have held out to like 199 or 200 or something.
Well, you can always come back.
Okay, we'll plan on that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Yeah. I never, I never thought my show would last this long and be like international. I'm just a little girl from New Jersey. With a vision, and I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. I can't be more fulfilled.
Awesome. Well, that's always great to hear. Well, a little about me. I did grow up in Tinton Falls, New Jersey. I went through the Tinton Falls school system as a student, and I actually did my master's degree at Monmouth University down. I forget if that's Monmouth County or Ocean County, but
Monmouth County.
It is Monmouth County because it's Monmouth University, right?
Yeah.
And I worked in schools for a while, and then I worked at Rutgers for 9 years, and then I worked at Kane for a few years, and then I left public education and I went to work for an ed tech startup. And you know what happens to ed tech startups? Things don't always go so well after a few years. But during COVID, I was still looking for full-time work, and I was doing a ton of consulting, super busy between work that I was doing directly for Google and working with some school districts. And I realized if I'm ever going to go back into public education, like right now is the time. And there were a couple of school districts that were looking for technology coaches or technology facilitators. And Millburn's one of the districts that I applied for. And the team there is beyond amazing. Evan Abramson is the director of technology, and he's phenomenal. I've known him for years. And the technology facilitators and the supervisor of technology, I have never in my life been part of such a solid team. We share, we help each other. We're constantly jumping on meets, and there's 8 buildings. So there's 8 technology facilitators, one for each building. And, I walked into the high school late in August, and I was just like, what? And every one of the other technology facilitators is like, this is how we do it. This is what we do. I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. And I'm really proud to be part of the team at Millburn, New Jersey.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad for you because I know it could be really difficult and challenging, being a consultant and looking for full-time work. So I'm glad that you hop back on into public education. So
and then I was super lucky because at the same time I was doing consulting, and the folks from Apps Events who the CEO, the director of Apps Events, came to the very first ever New Jersey summit. And I think that was 2012, 2011. I can't even remember anymore. And he reached out to me and he's like, do you want to come and work with us? And I'm like, well, I have a full-time job and I'm really excited about it. And he's like, well, come on part-time and just do what you can do to help. And so I've been able to continue producing professional development around the across the United States, and connecting with certified trainers and coaches and innovators, and doing good work.
Isn't that great? Like, it's full circle, like you learn and then you bring it back to Milburn, and then it's just a continuous cycle. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a lucky lady.
You know what? And if it works out and you can balance everything, good for you. More power to you. So I'm glad that you're happy and that you're on the journey that you want to be on.
Yeah, I am.
So today we're going to continue that circle, and we're going to learn about Mote.
We are, and Milburn is in the process of considering adopting Mote district-wide. We haven't made that final decision yet. I am gonna show you so many things with Mote, but we could spend a whole day, looking at, how to integrate this phenomenal tool. And actually, would you go ahead and share my screen with everyone? Thank you. So Mote is very simple terms. It's a voiced feedback tool, but it's not just that. There's so much more you can do with it. And I'll drop the link in the chat here. Oh, you don't have chat open in StreamYard.
Send it to me in private chat, and then I'll drop it.
Awesome. I can do that. All right. So here's the link to the extension in the Chrome Web Store. It's super simple. It's free to install, just like any other Chrome extension. We're going to talk about all the free features. And of course, just with all of the technology tools that we're using these days, there is a paid version. And we'll talk about what you can do with the free version, right? So you're going to go ahead and you're going to install it, and you have to give it access to everything that it asks for: access to Drive, access to Gmail, access to Google Classroom, all of those things. So we want you to go ahead and approve that. And I'm just going to do some demos, and I'm going to demo Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Classroom, Gmail, and any old web page that we want. There's a ton here that we can do. So you'll see in the top right-hand corner that Mote is installed. It comes up in my extensions there. If you don't see it in your extensions, make sure to go into the puzzle piece and pin it. And we're going to do the first Mote here. So basically, you don't see Mote. You just see it in the top right-hand corner, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a comment. And when I add a comment, now you're going to see Mote. The little symbol, the icon for Mote, comes up right in the comment. And of course, I could type there. It didn't change the way I comment. But this time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the Mote icon. So I see that you didn't take too much time to expand on your idea. Why don't you come and meet me after school during my office hours, and we can talk about how to flesh out your essay. I'm going to go ahead and click done. It's thinking about it. And basically what it's done is it's given me this link to a Mote. Now that link is if the person who's getting the comment or the other people in the Google Doc don't have Mote installed, they can go to that URL. And we'll look at it a little later. They can go to that URL to hear the Mote. But instead, I'm going to click this pencil right here. With this pencil, it's going, I see that you didn't take too much time. It's going to play my audio for me. It's going to transcribe my audio for me. And if I needed to, so I have ELL students, or hey, maybe I teach AP French. I happen to be monolingual, so not so much. But I'm going to go ahead and click translate here and decide that I'm going to translate that. And I said to French, so I'll go with that. And I'll translate it right there for me. Now it's still going to play it in English. Time to expand on your idea. But if you were recording in a foreign language, it would record it that way too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save.
Now, is that part of the free version? Even the edit button? Even the edit button?
Yep. So I'm glad that you asked. So recording your Mote is the free version. The free version gives you a 30-second recording. The paid version gives you a 90-second recording. The translate and transcribe are the paid version. But so let's look at that, and let's look at what it looks like without the paid version. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a new comment here. So I'm going to record my Mote. This is going to be the second comment that I leave, and I'll go ahead and click done, and I'll comment. All right, so now let's go ahead and resolve that one. You'll see that for free, this is going to be the second. The Mote is there and everything, and you can have the URL. Let's go ahead. You can have the URL that would bring you to the Mote as well. All right, now let's look at this in Google Slides. Okay, now in Google Slides, it's going to be a little bit different, because if I go and leave a comment, Mote will come up again, but it gets better than that, because what I actually want to do is I want to click Mote in the top right-hand corner of my screen. So I want you to think about leaving your students directions right in a Google slide. So let's say you've made an assignment in Google Classroom. Every student gets a copy of their own slide, and you want to leave them verbal directions. Of course, you're going to tell them in the Google Meet or the Zoom that you're in, but instead of them asking you to repeat yourself 3 more times, you're going to leave it right there in that template. So we're going to click on Mote. We're going to click next, next. Oops. Oh, for goodness sakes, I was signed in. Good thing it happens super fast, right? And we're in. All right, now let's do it. When you click to start, okay, boys and girls, what you're going to do on this slide is on the left-hand side, you're going to put your compare, and on the right-hand side, you're going to put your contrast. All you need to do is just to click on the gray square in the middle of the screen to enter your text. Now, this time, Google Slides is going to create an icon. Now, I can rewind, I can play it, I can trash it and re-record, but I'm going to click Insert for demonstration's sake, and it's going to give me an icon on my screen for the audio. So let's go ahead and for a moment, see that audio button there, and I'm going to make it bigger so that everyone can see it. So there's the Mote icon. The student would come to the slide, be able to click play. Okay, boys and girls. Or we could go ahead and present. Can you see my screen presenting?
Yep.
Okay.
I see it.
And I could click it there. What you're going to. All right. But it gets better, because first of all, we can do all sorts of formatting to this icon. So I'm going to open up the format options. Those of us that use Google Slides on a regular basis, we know that we can make it on click, or we can make it play automatically once you get to the slide, right? We could loop it. We could hide the icon when we're presenting. Okay, we know already that we can move it around and resize it, but of course we could recolor it. Or let's make it even better. I'm going to go get my Bitmoji, and I'm going to say, listen. Oops, I have to spell listen right. There we go. So you see that little Bitmoji there? I'm going to right click there, and I'm going to save that image. Let's go ahead and give it a name, Bitmoji. Everybody right now is going, oh my gosh. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to right click on that, and we're going to replace the image with that Bitmoji. And now when my students come to the slide, they're going to see me there.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that amazing?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So the possibilities are limitless.
Now, let me ask you this. So the Mote that's displayed up top in the middle of the screen there, that's being populated from the Chrome extension. It's not an add-on, right?
That's right. Everything is populated from the Chrome extension. And we're going to look at the Chrome extension settings after we look at Google Classroom. Okay. But once you install the extension for Mote, it will show up in Gmail. It will show up in Slides. It will show up in Classroom. It'll show up in Docs and as an extension. Those places. And I'm sure they'll add more. All right. Now let's look at Google Classroom. So Google Classroom, we've got an assignment going on. This is an AP Language Diagnostics assignment, and you'll see Mote's going to show up in two places in Google Classroom. The first place is right here, right on your instructions page. So you'd be able to click Mote and start recording your directions. Or maybe you had a follow-up to the instructions and you wanted to let the students know, just a reminder, this is going to be due on Tuesday, something like that. And we're going to click Done. All right. There's that URL. So we're going to look at that for a moment. Now, let's say your students didn't have Mote, or you're using this with parents or guardians or community members and they didn't have Mote. They'd be able to go to that URL and play. You'd be able to click Mote and that right there. And you'll see those transcription services were there too. And I'm going to show you how to toggle that on and off. So even if you don't have Mote installed, you can still listen to a Mote, which is pretty cool.
They just click on the link.
That's right.
Okay.
So I'm going to add that to my Google Classroom, and all they would have to do was just click here. If they didn't have Mote installed, this would be a hyperlink right out to that Just Mote page. Now we can also, remember we used it in comments in Google Docs, right? But we can also use this right in Google Classroom when we're doing our assessments. So if I go ahead, and I could highlight something or I could add a private comment here, it's going to be the same thing as we did on the Google Doc. And I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And I'm going to go ahead and post it there. My student would get that right in Google Classroom. But we know in Google Classroom, it's just easier to toggle through. But we're going to take it a step farther this time, okay? I'm going to leave a private comment. So your grammar and your spelling were perfect. I want to talk tomorrow a little bit about how to start adding in your citations. I'm going to click Done. I'm going to click the pencil here. And do you see this Save As button?
Yeah.
So this might be a comment that I use on a regular basis. And we know in Google Classroom, right, we have comment banks. So it's pretty similar to that, but it adds it to our Mote book. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save As, and I'm going to call this one Citation. I spelled it right. Yay. I'm going to click Save. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and exit that there and post my comment. Now I can go back to that other student and maybe I'm going to highlight something in there, or maybe I'll even post it right here. If I long press on Mote, it'll bring up my Mote book with all of my saved, frequently used Motes. So I can go ahead.
Say that again. What did you click on to
get? I did. Here, let me show you. Is I clicked on the Mote icon, but I long held it. So I'm clicking and holding it until my Mote book pops up. Then I can go ahead and I can click Citation, and it'll put that right in there for me.
Oh my goodness, that is so easy.
So easy to use. Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done Google Docs, we've done Google Slides, we've done Classroom. We're going to do Gmail, and then we're going to come back and talk about some of the paid advanced features. All right, so here I am in Gmail, and let me just hide that. I'm going to go ahead and click Compose, and you're going to see that Mote shows up at the bottom of my Gmail. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'll just send an email to myself at my, my personal email address there, and I'm going to say, hey, listen to this. And I'm going to go ahead and click the Mote button. So it's recording again. On the free version, I have 30 seconds. On the paid version, I have 90 seconds. But it's going to record it. And I'm going to go ahead and press it to stop recording. Now, let's say this went out to parent or guardian. And let's think about, the parents and guardians that would benefit from that audio over the written word. I know frequently, especially dealing with, some of the tech issues that we've had through the pandemic, the written word can be, misinterpreted with tone. So that audio is actually really quite nice to send a friendly message how you intended it.
That is an understatement,
right? So what would happen to that parent or guardian is they would have an animated GIF in the Gmail, and they would just click the animated GIF and it would take them to the Just Mote page to play the audio. So it's recording, but because I have Mote installed, it populates right in there. Okay, so I'm going to get another link. And actually, if you can drop this link for me, I'm going to give it to you, Kim, if you can drop it on YouTube. This is like a referral code. If you're going to go ahead and sign up for Mote, you can use my referral code and you'll get like an extra 30 days or something like that. But let's look at the pricing, because I like to be transparent with everything. And before I show you the advanced features, I want to show you the pricing. So it's free, right? You get almost everything, and you get that 30 seconds of recording. You get Gmail, all of things. Oh, I forgot to show you the emojis. I showed you Bitmoji, but I didn't show you the emojis. What you don't get unless you pay for it is you don't get to transcribe your voice notes. You don't get to translate your Mote transcripts. You don't get to use the Mote book, and you don't get the STEM feature. But you could get that just for yourself, or you could get it for your school or your district. And so you see those options there.
What does the STEM feature entail?
So this is what the STEM feature looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and resolve that. So I want you to think about math teachers, and maybe they have put out an assignment via Google Classroom using Google Docs or Google Slides even. And this is what the STEM feature does. So I'm going to go ahead and add a comment here. And I was never a math teacher, never, ever, ever. So forgive me, all those math teachers, if you don't like the equation that I'm about to share. So you got problem number 1 correct. Great job. But problem number 2, 2x plus 4 equals 35. You need to take a look at again. We're going to click the pencil there. And with transcription, we're going to see our equation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in there you can actually, so let's say it was supposed to be 34. I can go ahead and edit it, okay, which is pretty great. And then I can go ahead and save that, or I'm going to go ahead and exit that, and I'm going to comment it. And it comes right up. You'll see it right here. There's the equation. So that's STEM mode, and I have a feeling that the team at Mote has lots more coming with that. The other thing that I didn't show you, and it's just a little added bonus, that when you install Mote, it installs the Mote emoji keyboard. So it means that in any comment, I can make a colon and start typing the name of an emoji, and it'll actually pop up for me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's just I think it's just kind of like a little bonus feature, right?
That's actually easy, because, sometimes what you're looking for, but you have to go through like the categories to find it. Like if you can just type what it is and it displays it or puts it there, that's a nice feature to have too.
Yeah, it's a nice little added bonus.
Yeah.
So the team at Mote, and John Neal specifically there, and John Neal's one of our fellow certified trainers, they put together these Mote Minutes, and they're awesome. I linked to the YouTube. I'll give it to you, Kim, to put out in the YouTube chat there. They're great, and they're all less than 2 minutes, and they take you through, making your first Mote all the way through to STEM and the emoji keyboard and the activity dashboard. While I'm here, I'm going to show you the last way that we can use Mote, and that's the Mote Extension, at the top of our screen. Anytime I want, I can click Mote, and you'll see here that you can record a Mote voice note. So I could be on a news site, I could be on, a science textbook site, whatever it was, and I can go right here and I can record a Mote note. So once I'm done recording, I click done, and you'll see that they appear right here in my recent notes, which is really nice. While I'm here, Once
I don't think I saw it.
you didn't see, oh, because it's only showing the window. Oh, okay. I can't show it. But just know, oh, it's not showing the extension. Do you mind if I re-screen share?
Yeah, let me remove this.
Okay.
Or you can stop screen share.
You got it. And I'm gonna share, I'll have to share the entire screen. Okay, and I'll move, let me move us. So do you see
I see your,
YouTube?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to the extension and now you can see me clicking on the extension, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm gonna click the Mote, I'm gonna record a Mote. And when I'm done recording, I'm gonna go ahead and click done. And this will show up in my recent notes, but it'll also show up in my Mote notes. So let me show you first. You have to enable the extension when you get here, right? You can enable voice transcription in your free trial and your paid version, and you can enable STEM mode in your free trial and your paid subscription. I can also go into my account details and go to my account page and, ooh, I showed you the wrong thing. I want to get to my, here we go. So here's my recent motes. And I don't know why I can't get to them. Oh, here we go. My activity and engagement. Sorry about that. You'll see all of the motes that I just recorded. So it's pretty great. I can come back to them at any time. I can view the landing page, which is that Mote recording page, where it originally came from. I can make them hidden. Because it's unlisted, it means anyone that has the link can view it and listen to it, right? Or I can delete it. So
Now, is there a limit to how many recordings that that it will store under your account?
well, so let's go back to pricing because I believe there is not. Listen to and read unlimited Mote voice notes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm going to go ahead and stop screen sharing. And that's Mote.
That was really awesome. I can't believe you covered all that in the short amount of time.
Well, come on, I'm from Jersey. I talk fast.
Just keep it going. Keep it going. Honestly, I had no idea that it did all that. Like I have Mote installed and I used it, you know, I dabbled in it. I didn't really, you know, use it as frequently as I would like. But to be able to, you know, I like to transcribe, I like to translate, I like those features. I like being able to not making the user, the end user, have the Mote extension installed, you know, because sometimes they need to have different extensions installed in order for things to work properly. That's a bonus in my mind because you're not forcing anyone to install something.
Right.
You still listen. And I like the emoji keyboard.
I like in slides, like I actually just learned at a webinar last night that Mote put on, like I knew I could replace the image. I had put all sorts of stuff in there, but it hadn't occurred to me to put the Bitmoji in there. And I really, yeah. So.
Well, that's how we learn, right? You pick up a little thing like that and it makes a personalized learning for the students, you know, so it's a great little tip that you learn. So
you don't know what you don't know. You have to wait until someone tells you.
Exactly. Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to really, you know, I'm gonna have to play around with it more tomorrow in school, and really just, I know we have, like I've pushed it out to teachers at my school district, and I know a few people are using it, but you know how people just have their own workflow going, and you know they're used to what they like what they're doing, you know. But I'm gonna have to like dive a little bit deeper into it and then really like, you know, promote it because it does have a lot of potential and it can really save a lot of time. And the most important thing is the tone, right? Like you said in the beginning, like when you type something, you can't really tell the tone of the person if they're coming across, in a negative way or positive way. And when people hear your comment, the tone is totally cleared up,
Yeah.
So I think that's important too, especially when you're giving students feedback.
Absolutely. And, the students can all use it with a 30-second limit, and they're fine without all of those extensions. But if
Yeah.
you're working with ELL students or parents that aren't native English speakers, and even, just to help some of our 504s and our IEP students, like this is just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Now, let me ask you this. Some people might ask, why wouldn't we just use the insert audio feature in Google Slides rather than Mote? How would you answer that question?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. And thank you for asking, because this is another really great feature of Mote in Google Slides. When we use like online voice recorder or something like that to record audio, and then we insert it in our Google Slides, we have to also go into Google Drive and make sure that the audio file has the same sharing settings as the Google slide deck. You with me so far?
Yeah. Mhm.
With Mote, you don't have to change any sharing settings. Mote is embedded directly into that file. So if that Google slide deck is public, the Mote in it is public. If that Google slide deck is private to 3 students, only those 3 students can hear that Mote. It picks up the sharing settings, which I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, because it takes that whole piece out and you don't have to think about it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because like with the audio in Google Slides, like, I try to use like online voice recorder or Vocaroo,
Yeah.
and those are great, but the online voice recorder, sometimes it could, or Vocaroo, like there's always advantages and disadvantage to using, those tools in different applications, and I just think this makes it a little bit more seamless.
It does.
Eh,
And
you know,
this hasn't been the year to learn a million new tools. Like we just
no.
really needed to start off the year with a small toolkit that had us be successful with our students, and then slowly add to it on an as needed basis.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt that about a month ago, it was time to start introducing Mote to the staff in the building that I work in. And yeah, we all like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes the thinking out, and it's a little bit more seamless, the workflow, rather than going to another website and then recording, and it's just one less thing you have to worry about.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm glad that you addressed that, because you know I would think that would be a common question that people would ask.
Yeah, thanks for asking it.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I
so
like
I
how
have a
you.
question for you, Kim.
Okay.
All right, I have a feeling you've been asked this before, but when you named your podcast The Sweet Talk, it was G Suite for Education. Are you going to change your name?
No, we're good. I can't rebrand as much as Google does. And plus, my show is not really all about Google. It's all about tech integration and helping others. So, the Sweet Talk, it's just the title now.
I've been waiting for 2 weeks to ask you that.
No rebranding here for me.
Okay. Well, I rebranded. Over the summer. I changed everything from L Thumann and Lisa Thumann to EdTech with Lisa, my Twitter, my Instagram, my website, and everything. But I did that
Wow.
because I was starting a new journey in life, but also because my last name's going to change on June 26th. I'm getting married. So,
Yay!
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, I know. I followed your rebranding, and it's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. So no, I'm keeping my name. I think I have a good trend going, and why change a good thing? So we're good.
Totally get it.
This was such a great episode. I'm so glad that you came on today and really, like, opened my eyes a lot more to Mote. I see people on Twitter ranting and raving about it, and they say a lot of good things about it. So I'm just glad that you were able to showcase a lot of the features that it does have, and hopefully other people will take advantage of your code. I will put your code and the links that you shared with me in the private chat. I'll put them in the show notes so that people can have access to them as well.
Cool.
All right. Well,
thanks for
this
having
was awesome. I'm telling you, this was great. What I'm going to do real quick is wrap up the show. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if you'd like to visit my website, it's thesuitetalk.com. That's the SUITE talk.com. And on the homepage, you'll see the latest episode here and podcasts. If you'd like to support my mission and help other educators around the world and pay it forward, you can become a sponsor and fill out the sponsor form, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to be a guest on my show, you can certainly fill out the guest inquiry form. Right now, I'm scheduling for August. So yeah, this is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to pay it forward. So you can share and be a guest, anytime in the fall. If you'd like to see any past episodes, you can click on the episode page, and all of my past episodes will appear here in this list with the YouTube video and the link to the show notes, which is a Wakelet collection. Also, my Jamboard page, if anybody wants to share an idea with me on how they're using Jamboard in the classroom, you can fill out this Jamboard, the share your idea form with me, and I will showcase your information in the Pay It Forward with Jamboard presentation. And some teachers had shared with me, so you can check this out as well. One last thing, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast as well. And that is that. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. This was awesome. I really appreciate it. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.